Hello everyone, welcome to day 9 of Prelims Warm-Up. This is a new initiative by AptiPlus Academy for Civil Services where we will be discussing the important current affair topics for the upcoming UPSC Prelims 2020. My name is Shaikh Datta. I am the faculty for Environment and Geography at AptiPlus Academy for Civil Services. So let us see the first topic for the day. The first question is with regards to the Global Environment Facility Small Grants Program. So Global Environment Facility Small Grants Program, the first statement says that this initiative started as a result of the Rio Earth Summit of 1992. So this particular initiative, it was a result of the Rio Earth Summit of 1992. We know that it had taken place at Rio de Janeiro in Brazil. Second statement says that it is implemented by UNEP. UNEP stands for United Nations Environment Program. The third statement says that this particular initiative is meant to help communities both financially and technically to undertake sustainable development initiatives or sustainable initiatives which will benefit the environment. So these are the three statements given for Global Environment Facility Small Grants Program. So what is important is, again, more than the question, it is more important that you understand that this topic is relevant for your upcoming prelims, UPSC prelims 2020. Okay. So if we look at the first statement, that is actually correct, that this initiative, it was started as a result of the Rio Earth Summit of 1992. So the first statement is correct, but if you look at the second statement, it is implemented by United Nations Environment Program, that is actually incorrect. Again, if an aspirant is not aware of this particular topic, there is a high chance that an aspirant will go for the second statement as well, but in reality the second statement is actually incorrect. The third statement is correct on the other hand. Okay? So first and third statements are correct. So let us see where it is. Yes, option C, we get to see 1 and 3 are correct. So the Global Environment Facility Small Grants Program, it is implemented by UNDP, that is United Nations Development Program, not United Nations Environment Program. And you have to study this particular initiative in details, and for that I have mentioned the link of UNDP website, and if you go to this link you will be able to study in details regarding the Small Grants Program. Okay? So this is with regards to the first question. Moving on to the next question. This was in the news, and this is again very important. This particular question is asking about torrefaction technology. Okay? So what is this torrefaction technology? First statement, it is a thermochemical process. It is a thermochemical process which involves heating of biomass. So by biomass we mean to say plant residue, crop residue, etc. So it is a thermochemical process which involves heating of biomass in the near absence of oxygen. This is the first statement. Second statement, torrefied biomass is also called as biocoal. So all these biomass, after having undergone the torrefaction technology or the torrefaction process, the result is what is referred to as biocoal. That is what the second statement is saying. The third statement says that it is a Japanese technology, this torrefaction technology or the process, it is a Japanese concept. And the fourth statement is saying that this particular technology or this particular process, it can reduce the problem of air pollution in Delhi by reducing stubble burning. So every winter we get to see Delhi suffers from very severe form of air pollution. You will have certain phenomena which is also called as smog. And there are many reasons for that, but one of the major reasons that we get to see is the fact that Delhi is surrounded by states which are having an agrarian economy. That is, their economy is to a great extent dependent upon agriculture and allied activities. And ultimately we get to see that the farmers in the surrounding states of Delhi, so once they have harvested their crop, they need to get their field ready as soon as possible, and what they will do is that whatever crop residues are left over on the field, they will set fire to that. This entire phenomena is what we refer to as stubble burning, and this stubble burning is considered to be one of the major reasons for the extreme levels of pollution that Delhi experiences every winter. So if you look at the four statements which have been given, the first statement is correct. The second statement, torrefied biomass is also called as biocoal, that is also correct. So it will change into coal-like pellets. All this biomass, it will be converted into coal-like pellets, small pellets. Third statement is actually incorrect because it is not a Japanese technology, rather it is a Swedish technology. And the fourth statement is definitely correct because if we are able to use that biomass and convert it into these small pellet-like coal, in that case what will happen is the farmers, they will not be setting the biomass or the stubble on fire, and hence automatically that will bring down the air pollution levels in Delhi. So first statement is correct, second statement is correct, third is incorrect, fourth is correct. So 1, 2 and 4 should be the right answer, and we get to see option C is the correct answer. So I have mentioned over here the definition for torrefaction, but I have taken this particular term from the Hindu, and if you want to know more about it, then you can go to this particular link of Hindu and you can read upon it. So it's a very important term for the upcoming UPSC Prelims 2020. Now moving on to the third question, the third topic of the day, and this is with regards to the Sustainable Development Goal India Index 2018. So consider the following statements with regard to Sustainable Development Goal Index, India Index 2018. So and select the correct option. First statement, it was released by Niti Aayog and developed in collaboration with the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation, United Nations and the Global Green Growth Institute. So this particular index, again, whenever an index we are talking about, so what are indexes used for? Indexes, let's say if we are talking about Human Development Index, so such kind of indexes, they are always used for giving ranks or ranking countries, ranking states. When we talk about the Sustainable Development Goal India Index, through this particular index, what is tried is basically to rank the various states and the various union territories inside India, which will give a sense, which will give an idea how much effort these states and union territories are making in order to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals. So I guess most of you would be aware about the Sustainable Development Goals. This index basically gives an idea how much effort, how much progress the various states and union territories under India, how much progress or effort they have made in the fulfillment of the Sustainable Development Goals. So this index, through this index, ranking is given. So the first statement is saying that this particular index was released by Niti Aayog and it was developed in collaboration with the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation, United Nations and the Global Green Growth Institute. These were the bodies which are responsible for the development of this index. That is the first statement. The second statement is the states and union territories, they have been classified under different categories. What kind of categories? For example, aspirants, performer, front runner, achiever. So there are a number of categories like aspirants or aspirant, performer, front runner and achiever, and all these categories are based upon, what is the basis? Basis is the Sustainable Development Index score. So on the basis of the score, like let's say a particular state is coming up to a certain score, so on the basis of that score, as per this index, that state will be allotted one of these categories. Okay, this is what the second statement talks about. The third statement is saying it is the second time that this index has been released. So basically this is the second edition of the index. And the fourth statement is saying Gujarat has got the top rank while Bihar has emerged as the worst performer. Okay? So these are the four statements. Again, it's a little difficult without knowing the topic. You cannot really go for educated guesswork over here. So let me tell you, the first statement is actually correct. This particular index was released by Niti Aayog and the development had taken place with the collaboration of these different bodies. For example, the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation, United Nations and the Global Green Growth Institute. Second statement is also correct. Actually, in reality, all the different states and union territories, they are put under these four categories on the basis of their index scores. The third statement is also correct. Okay, this is the second time that this particular index has been released. But the fourth statement is incorrect, because though the second part of the fourth statement is correct, कि Bihar has emerged as the worst performer, that is correct, but the top rank has not gone to Gujarat, rather it has gone to Kerala. ठीक है? So 1, 2, 3 are correct, 4 is incorrect. So where do we have 1, 2, 3? Option B. ठीक है? So option B is correct, and if you want to know more about it, Kerala, as I've told you, it has got the top rank, but then there are also other things that you, other details that you also need to know, and for that I have pasted the link. So you can go to this PIB link and you can read up on this particular index. Now moving on to the next topic that we have, this is with regards to Society of Biotechnology of India. So the question is asking, consider the following statements with regard to the Society of Biotechnology of India and select the correct option. First statement is, it has been launched under the Ministry of Science and Technology. So this is the first statement. Second statement is, it is a non-profit organization. Third statement, recombinant therapeutic proteins can be used in the application treatments like human insulin for diabetes or for chronic renal failure. So for all these things you can use recombinant therapeutic proteins. Now again, a little technical in nature, let me tell you. First statement is actually correct. Society of Biotechnology of India, that is correct. The first statement is correct. Second statement is also correct, that this particular body, it is a non-profit organization. The third statement is also correct. Okay? So basically this particular body, it will be doing research on all these different type of technologies, for example recombinant therapeutic proteins, etc., and different aspects of biotechnology, and that is why I put this third sentence over, or the third statement over here, because by the way all the three statements are correct. So your right answer should be B. 4B should be the right answer, but you should be reading up a little bit regarding this particular society. And where did I get this particular society's name? I got it from the Hindu, and I have also pasted the exact article which you have to read. So please go to this link and read up on it, and also just Google a bit regarding the recombinant therapeutic proteins, what it means, and what are the major function of this particular non-profit organization, that is Society of Biotechnology of India. Okay? So this is with regards to question number 4, where we get to see all the given statements are correct. Moving on to question number 5. So question number 5, it states that, okay, consider the following statements about the International Tropical Timber Organization. International Tropical Timber Organization is the body, and for this particular body we have a few statements. For example, first statement is, it is an intergovernmental organization, and this intergovernmental organization, it is promoting the sustainable management and conservation of tropical forests and the expansion and diversification of international trade in tropical timber from legally harvested forests. So what is it saying? It is an intergovernmental organization, which means the members are the various governments of the different countries. So it is an intergovernmental organization which is promoting the sustainable management and conservation of tropical forests. That is true, but at the same time it is also trying to expand and diversify the international trade in tropical timber from legally harvested forests. Okay? So basically those forests where sustainable management is taking place, so from those forests whatever timber has been harvested, so those timber, this particular body tries to promote the trade in that kind of timber which is extracted from such sustainably managed tropical forests. This is the first statement. Second statement, there are a total of 36 timber producing member countries and there are 38 timber consuming member countries. 36 timber producing, 38 timber consuming. And the third statement says that India is a member, first of all, of this particular organization, the International Tropical Timber Organization, and India, it is an example of a timber producing country. Okay? So these are the three statements which have been given. Okay, International Tropical Timber Organization and India is an example of a timber producing country. So dekhte hain for question number 3. You see over here all of the above, that is all the given statements, all of them are correct. So India is actually a member and it is also an example of a timber producing country. There are 36 timber producing member countries and 38 timber consuming member countries, and it is an intergovernmental organization which promotes the sustainable management and conservation of tropical forests, plus at the same time it also tries to expand and diversify the international trade in tropical timber from legally harvested forests. Okay, and if you want to know more about it, then you can go to this particular link. So with this we come to the end, and there's another area where you can just give note down the important things that you learn from these links, so you can take down your self notes as well. So with this we come to the end of this discussion session, and we will meet again in our next session with a new set of topics. So till then, study hard and take care of yourself. Thank you so much.